This episode is Jurassic World with Peter Daniel. The sound might be a little off, or you might hear music in the background. We were actually at an IHOP while we recorded this because we thought, why not get a meal and discuss a movie and have some fun? Side note is, Peter and I actually got in a pretty decent argument about the Christopher Nolan Batman films and about Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. We both think Ben Affleck will make a great Batman, though. So, have a good listen, and I hope you enjoy this episode. I Want to Like This. Episode 13 with Peter Daniel. Hey, Thomas Sinclair here with my guest today, Peter Daniel.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Well, Peter, would you like to inform the people listening what movie you decided to pick today?
We are going to be talking about Jurassic World, which is the worst fucking movie of the year.
Yet the largest movie in movie history.
It was the most entertaining shit film that I've seen in a long time.
It is very entertaining.
Yeah, it was really, really entertaining.
Well,
but it was garbage.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
It was just,
we can totally get into why it's garbage, but first, there's a couple other things.
Okay.
But first, I'm going to ask you a really simple question.
Sure.
Just so they understand, Peter Daniel is a comedian. He's quite funny, which is why I asked him to do this. Also, what is your favorite movie?
Of all time.
Yeah, if you had to name, like, top three, ballpark it.
Okay, Lord of the Rings trilogy, I'll count as one. Love it. Oh, you're such a dork. You're probably going to get pissed off that Tom Bombadil wasn't in there.
Just go.
I'm sure.
No,
right. No. So that's, in no particular order, but my top three, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is going to be in there.
Okay.
Godfather 2. Godfather 1 is good, but, I mean...
Godfather 2 is easily the best of the three.
Yeah. And, Rudy.
Ooh.
Rudy is like, whenever I feel down...
I really love two of your three choices.
You don't like the Lord of the Rings?
I do not like the Lord of the Rings.
What is wrong with you?
You like Man of Steel and Lord of the Rings.
Man of Steel was...
terrible. Lord of the Rings, they spent millions upon millions of dollars to make New Zealand look beautiful. Which, as the legend of...
Fine, who cares
of
about
Xena and Hercules prove they're wrong. And also, they're just drawn out films that aren't good. They're not at telling the narrative. But
right,
whatever, that's personal opinion. Whatever.
Yeah, that's...
As always, everything in this is personal opinion.
Well, Jurassic World is awful. That's a fact. It's not
okay,
well... That's just a fact.
Well, normally we ask these questions. So, Peter Daniel, why did you get excited to see Jurassic World? As if we don't know.
Because they tamed raptors.
They tamed raptors, and it was Jurassic...
It's dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
So...
Chris Pratt's in it. Like...
That wasn't a selling point to me.
That is a selling point to me.
It wasn't. I didn't hold it against it. It was just like that didn't really factor in. It could have been anybody. It, just the fact that it was another Jurassic, and it had been so long since the last one. What, like 14 years? So, like, yeah, okay. Everything else that's been coming out has been so good. Like all the Marvel movies have been so good.
Yes.
In spite of what you say, I like the Batman trilogy a lot.
I think Batman Begins is a great film, and Dark Knight is a fun interpretation of Joker. I just don't think they're good Batman films other than Batman Begins.
I liked Man of Steel. I liked it. I thought it was good.
I'm not going to say anything.
It wasn't great. It was good, not great.
This podcast has definitely been filled with me saying how much I hate Zack Snyder. And I'm trying not to. All
right, not to make this about Man of Steel, but just...
But you're going to make this about Man of
Steel. Superman
Steel.
Returns was just so blah.
It's
that
very bad.
I guess by comparison, Man of Steel was just so much better than it.
Yeah, and I compared Man of Steel to Christopher Reeve's Superman, and it's terrible.
Those are so... You know what? They don't hold up today, though.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. I've watched them a couple times with my son. I'm like, oh, we're putting in Man of Steel.
They totally do.
Nah.
They totally do.
No, they don't.
I still love that film. Also, Superman the Animated Series. But anyway, as we're going on, so you got excited, Jurassic, because it's a Jurassic Park franchise.
Yeah, it's dinosaurs.
It's been 15 years.
Dinosaurs.
He trains raptors.
He trains raptors, and there's a hybrid dinosaur. We knew that from the previews, and I was like, all right, that's going to be entertaining.
What about this movie did you enjoy? Because it is entertaining. It's very entertaining.
The special effects are fantastic.
Yes, they are.
Fantastic special effects.
This is the most convincing I've seen CGI since Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, it was just...
And that includes the current Avengers movie. I think the CGI in this is
so much farther ahead.
I think the CGI was always farther ahead. Like when you see CGI in '93 of the original Jurassic Park versus anybody else using CGI in '93, it's so much leaps.
The original Jurassic Park still holds up. As both the story
totally
and as just everything in it.
Yeah.
The Triceratops is still one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, which one?
The sick Triceratops.
Yeah, and the giant pile of poo. Awesome. You can't get better than a giant pile of poo.
No, you can't.
There was no piles of poo in this movie.
Also, Laura just shoving her hand in poop. It's awesome.
Yeah. There's no piles of poo in this one.
Nope.
I mean,
there's a lot more dinosaurs and a lot less poop.
Yeah. You need someone analyzing poop. You just do. That's just. I think every movie, imagine, think if the Joker had to analyze a pile of poo.
No. If Batman had to analyze poo to track the Joker,
the Joker's poo.
Because the Joker obviously shit while he was still in the jail cell,
and that's how he made his fertilizer-based bombs off his own poo. There you go. Any movie would have been better
with analyzing poo.
Jarvis analyzing a pile of poo for Tony.
Okay, so things we like. The CGI is fantastic.
The CGI is fantastic. I think that was pretty much it.
That's it? Really?
Yeah.
That's
the
it?
CGI. Well, okay.
The raptor training...
No, the raptor training was not as good as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I thought, and when we get into what sucked, I can go into that more. But I was let down by the raptor training. The special effects, the way the dinosaurs looked is being real, and when they fought.
Oh,
like that last
fight scene.
Oh, that was
last fight
that was
scene
amazing.
is awesome. That's like a kaiju battle.
Yeah.
But with animals that really existed.
Yeah, or it was what Godzilla's last battle should have been in that movie, Godzilla.
We're not going to go there. We love that film here. It's whatever. Your choice. I do love that finish. The surprise finish was great.
Oh, yeah. We're not doing spoilers on here, correct?
Oh, we can do spoilers on here. I mean, they clicked onto this, and they know it's about... And they know it's about movies, so they're going to be fine. So, yeah, you can do spoilers.
Okay.
Unless we're... Predator X totally kills the hybrid dinosaur, because it proves that, they made the argument about, the shark versus the lion. If the shark versus the lion is on the ground, lion wins. But the second that lion gets close to the water, shark all the way, and that's what happened here.
The best predators are in their own environment or whatever.
Yes.
So.
And then, okay, let's acknowledge it. The girl came for our check. We're at IHOP, so
we're recording that. This is world class podcasting.
Yeah. Well, we came to meet you. It's not like we came to the studio like we normally do.
Oh, you have the studio?
Yeah.
I could have met you at the studio. Where's the studio?
Okay. The studio's getting fixed up.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You have a pen. We didn't want to inconvenience you. So anyway, so I do love the finish. The CGI, really, that's where you're gonna go. I like the setting. I love the idea of the whole park being open.
Yeah, okay, that was cool. I mean,
it really ups the number.
I like the take on it. That
it definitely ups the number of deaths.
Yes, definitely, it ups the carnage. But I do like the whole take on that everything's sponsored.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think that's really so realistic. It's like, it would be that way. And I mean, financially, if you're going to do that, and you're going to recreate dinosaurs. I don't know how many millions or billions of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So, like, everything sells the rights. And I really did like that.
I love that there's a character who is... There's a character in the control room who is our voice.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, next it's going to be the fucking Pepsi-saurus. Or, and he's getting real mad, and he loves the idea of the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And he gets scolded for it. Like, that's really bad taste.
He's such a fucking hipster. He was just such a...
He's such a nerd. I don't even know if it's a hipster or just a giant nerd.
I think he's a hipster. We never got a full shot of him. I bet you he had skinny jeans. Ironically.
No, he had normal jeans.
Did he?
Yeah. Said the guy wearing tighter jeans.
Yeah, but I mean, really, that was it. It was just a CGI. I mean, everything else in the movie... Oh, I'll tell you, the only other thing that I liked in the movie, which I think this should have been the movie, was the idea that the military is trying to weaponize dinosaurs. That right there is your movie.
Those $2 million industries trying to own dinosaurs is what the movie really should be about.
Yeah.
The military-industrial complex, and then...
The corporate entertainment complex. Both of them just shitting on the whole idea of what really we should be doing.
What brings life.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Anyway, so yeah, I agree with those. And then it's just, well, if that's all you really liked about it, that means we're delving really quickly into what you did not like about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there wasn't too much more to like about it. Because it was just so superficial. I mean,
it was very superficial.
Because I feel like the studio didn't take any time to take any risks with it. They were just gonna rehash the first Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Very, very safe. And it was just an insult to the general public because they knew everyone was gonna come out to the Jurassic Park.
Yeah, see dinosaurs.
But they didn't take any.
Chris Pratt's very charming in it.
Yeah, he is.
Everyone's trying to put their stuff into it, and that they're working harder than the script is.
Yeah. Well, Chris Pratt was charming, but I think that had more to do with Chris Pratt being Chris Pratt.
That's what I'm saying.
Than it had anything to do with the character. He did the best he had with poor writing.
Yeah. Very shallow writing for him and Bryce Dallas Howard, who I think is, there's a lot of scenes where they don't just do the medium shot, so you have to see that she's in heels running around in the jungle.
Yeah.
God bless her. Months of running around in heels. That's
you know what? Let me add that to another thing. She never lost a shoe.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. She never lost a shoe.
And they filmed that for months. So yeah, we're just gonna cut dead moments.
Yeah.
Space.
I had the French toast and the
it's okay. We cut this out later.
Orange, or no, the iced tea.
Okay, but did you guys want me to put it together or?
Oh, separate.
Separate. Yeah. I'm cash though. Ooh.
It's gonna have like the weirdest cuts. Like what happened?
Yeah, they're gonna hear the music change too. Is the best part.
Yeah, in between like the same thought.
Okay. Once he's done with this.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Back to Bryce Dallas Howard in her shoes. Yeah, she doesn't lose a heel in this, which is incredibly impressive. Like, and knowing how films work and how long they filmed on this, she filmed in this for like a month or more.
Yeah.
Wearing that same outfit and those heels the whole time. So kudos to her. They give her a couple moments, but the way she's written is something I will talk about in the next part.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was just so superficial.
Do you want to just get into what we don't like?
Yeah, let's just talk about what we don't like.
Okay, into what we don't like. Because you know what? I'm going to join you in this one because there's a bunch I don't like in this, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, okay, well, let's start at the beginning. Like, it took 15 minutes where they had no story for it whatsoever.
Oh, there was one thing I did like. One thing left I did like. And I actually made a note. They actually explain to all the science nerds why velociraptors are bigger and they don't have feathers. When the scientist goes, no, we crafted all of these. They don't look just like this. These are designer dinosaurs for your look and your aesthetic. It was a subtle nod to, no, yeah, velociraptors aren't 6 feet tall and they do have feathers. But no, we wanted this to make it look like you would want a dinosaur to look like. This is genetic engineering with all of them.
Yeah, because what they have representing velociraptor is another kind of dinosaur.
The Niceties.
Yeah. I couldn't remember how to pronounce it. I just knew it started with a D. But yeah, that was a nice touch. Some of the explanations.
Yeah, the genetic explanations were like, see, science nerds, Jack Horner's here. We know.
Yeah. So, but let's get into
what we don't like.
The opening of the movie was just so, like, we don't know what to do. I felt like it was like when Louis C.K. has one of the specials where he comes out and goes, I don't know how to start shows.
Yeah, so here we go.
Yeah, and it felt like, I don't know how to start movies, so we're just going to have this grandiose track playing while everything is like a door opening to some landscape. Like, the kid opens his, the door, or they get out of the ship when they get there to like, whoa, you know, they're coming into the island, and then then they're going into the hotel room, and their hotel room opens to the park, and there's this great view, and then
there are a lot of doors opening in this.
Yeah, it's all nothing but doors opening with grandiose soundtracks and great views because they didn't know what the fuck to do because they added these kids who had nothing to do with the story, and they didn't. I didn't care about the kids. The only thing the kids
added to the story was there was a reason for them to go out into the wild. Yeah. And also to write the most sexist storyline they possibly could for Bryce Dallas Howard, which was
career woman can't have kids.
A career woman doesn't have kids, so her life isn't complete.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like she could be happy. It's not her telling her sister to go, hey, fuck off, I'm happy. I run a giant multi-million-dollar company. Could you fucking lay off? Like, I'm glad you're happy with your kids and your failing marriage, but I'm over here working on my career, and it's pretty rad.
Yeah, I live on an island. Who gets to say that?
Right? A tropical island in near South America.
And I live with dinosaurs.
And I live with dinosaurs.
I'm basically a fundamentalist Christian's understanding of the Bible. I am Jesus right now. That's what I am.
This is the ark.
I'm riding dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which I think I would have loved to see someone ride a fucking dinosaur.
There were those little kids.
No, that doesn't. No. I
felt bad for the Triceratops the second I saw that. The little baby Triceratops killed it showed, and I'm like, man, fuck these people.
It's like there's people with the damn ponies here.
Yeah,
like,
I know. I hate them too.
So I would have loved to see Chris Pratt. Like, if he trained the raptors, he should have been riding a raptor.
No, dude, him riding a motorcycle that's like a hybrid motorcycle alongside raptors, awesome scene. There's someone made a video, and Chris Pratt is riding a motorcycle, and then raptors pull up alongside him, riding motorcycles as well, and it's the best.
No, I think he would have been cool to see him ride a raptor.
It would have been cool.
Like with a saddle and everything. I think
there was a cartoon show in the 80s where they did that kind of shit. And they ran a Tyrannosaur. But,
yeah. Thank you. So... so the story doesn't start.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start there. It's nothing but these grandiose scenes and all these giant montages and everything. And they're trying to, like, make you feel like... Remember how you felt the first time we pulled up to Jurassic Park? Well, we're going to try to make you feel that way again by this awesome soundtrack, which was just like...
Well, without any character backstory. Like, the first Jurassic Park, you meet Alan Grant, then you know why you care about Alan Grant.
Right.
He cares about dinosaurs. He cares about history. You don't get that with Chris Pratt's character. You don't get a pre-shot of his character. You don't get that moment, like the foreshadowing. Like in the first one, the raptor cage. And you know how dangerous the raptors are. Because you don't even get to see them.
Right.
There's no enclosure where you can see the raptors. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even Hitchcock. It's Spielberg. It's the goddamn shark in Jaws.
Yes.
You don't see them or the Tyrannosaur till shit's just going down.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, it was just... So, we start there, and then we got Bryce Dallas Howard, and her character, which, like we said, it was sexist. And
yeah.
And just so...
The worst part about it is the director keeps trying to stand up for it. Like, no, we gave her this empowered role, and she's fighting alongside... Like, I don't think you understand how this movie is sexist. Like, I'm sorry, but you need a fucking... you need a women's lib class in your college career.
Yeah. And she's awkward with kids for some reason.
She's really cold to her own nephews.
Yeah. Like, I get it, like, if she was, like, awkward with somebody else. Like, when Alan Grant was awkward with the kids, it made sense because those weren't his fucking kids.
No.
Or his nephews. No. Who was not related to those people at all.
And the point of, like, bringing the kids in and the moment of, oh, you should have kids and all that with him and Ellie Sadler for Dr. Grant made sense because Ellie, they wanted to have kids and this was a contention in their relationship going forward.
Yeah.
And that made sense because that was a plot point that made sense between the two characters, and you gave it a reason for him. You want to see him be good with the kids.
Yeah, so that he can become a father.
Yeah,
and then his career will never move forward, and he'll resent his family.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I think he made the right choice.
Yeah. So, but like, and all right, and then the Indian dude. I don't remember. Here's the thing: I don't know anybody's fucking name in this movie.
Nope, didn't care.
Because they were all so forgettable.
Yeah.
All I remember, the only person's name I remember is Indominus Rex.
Yes.
That's the only character that I even gave a shit about. I kind of was rooting for him to eat everybody on this island. Mm-hmm. Everybody.
Oh, and Blue. I remember Blue.
Yes, Blue. The raptor Blue. Like, but so it's the Indian dude. It's Bryce Dallas Howard. It's Chris Pratt. Vincent D'Onofrio looked like... I'm just going to overact everything because this role sucks.
He really did overact a lot.
I mean, and seeing him be so good on Daredevil.
Yes, as Kingpin.
To come to this movie and see him just not give a fuck was just like, what are you doing?
All you people came here to see the dinosaurs. It doesn't matter what the fuck I do.
Yeah. He knew nobody was there to see D'Onofrio.
Yeah, no.
He knew it. He did not care.
No offense to him. He's a great actor.
Oh,
no one gave a shit to see him in this movie.
No. I didn't even know he was in it until he just showed up. And then I was just like, what are you... And it's just, oh my God. And she pawns the kids off on her assistant for some reason. And that assistant, nobody's paying attention to anything. That's the other thing that pissed me off. Is like, yeah, okay, I get it. That, like, in the real world, even now, like, if we take a kid to a Brookfield Zoo, they're probably going to be on their phone. Yeah. Instead of looking. But it's a goddamn dinosaur.
I know. Well, I love that moment where he's just on his phone until that one moment he's like, oh, this is why aren't I fucking looking at this? Yeah. My brother is right.
Yeah.
And then he still goes back to looking at all the girls and not his brother, and it's like, Dude.
Yeah, the older teacher. And let's start with the fact that he just said goodbye to his girlfriend, who was like crying her eyes out before they went to the island, and all he's doing is trying to get new pussy on the island.
To be fair, she was extremely attached. Like,
she was way more.
That's why he was looking at all the other girls, because of how attached his girlfriend is.
Is this like a warning to your girl? Like, don't get overly attached, or I'll start looking for strange.
That's the entire plot for why he was doing that.
Well, yeah.
Like, he was such a douche still. It's like, you got a girlfriend.
Yeah, he was a douche the
older brother to die.
He grew up at the end, and he finally realized that his brother was all that he had whenever, his life was in danger.
Look at him defend the plot point. You could
I
tell he really loved the movie.
I did.
He did love the
movie.
I
hated that movie.
I had fun in the theater, and I think watching it with him and watching it with a group, you can have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because in the theater, it's so easy to get caught up in that, oh shit, we're experiencing something awesome.
That's the thing.
But then you watch it, and you're like, that wasn't really, like, that's why Dark Knight Rises sucks for me, or Man of Steel, because in the theater it was like, this is awesome, but then you watch it again, you're like, this is not good.
To be honest, the only thing, I saw it twice in theaters, to be honest, the only thing that actually held up was the opening scene when you go into the park. That was the only...
With the gates?
It was that nostalgic feeling of going into Jurassic Park.
You only needed one gate opening scene, is the thing.
But every door is a gate opening scene.
Every door in that beginning of the movie was like, they opened the gates to go to the park. I agree with you. I was right there with you. I was like, oh my god, we're going back into Jurassic Park.
But it's like all of those juxtapositions were actually really cool and clever. Like, you see the Indominus Rexes hatching, and then you see, like, the little... Like, you see all of the scaliness of the dinosaurs, and then it just... Extreme close-up, and it's, like, a bird, and it's winter.
Yeah.
And it's, like, it goes from one setting to another.
Yeah, they did
really
jump
quickly.
cut a lot.
It was a really cool way to introduce it.
Yeah, that was fine. But, like, the first opening gate scene is cool, because it's like, we're going back to the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. But then they open the doors to the Samsung Innovation Center with the same grandiose soundtrack. Yeah. And then they open the doors in the hotel suite with the same soundtrack.
Everything is double doors opening together.
Everything.
Really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
That's the thing I have another problem with this movie is, everything in this fucking movie is an homage to the first Jurassic Park.
It's not really its own film.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not an homage. It's a rehash.
Yeah.
An homage would be like, oh, this is like cool, like this little Easter egg or something.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to do it, but it just fell short.
So overt. It's so overt. Like the Indominus Rex busting through the room just like T-Rex did, stepping on the thing.
It's the exact same. It's the exact same dinosaur that you had from the original movie in T-Rex. It's the exact same doctor that is still creating all of these dinosaurs.
Well, in his
and then it's literally the exact same plot.
It's
like,
the same plot.
Follow the kids and help them so that we can survive this monster.
Right.
I think that's what all of the Jurassic Parks have suffered from, is it deals with some kids getting in trouble and adults having to save them.
Yeah. Or in the Lost World, it's basically just adults getting in trouble and then the adults saving other adults.
No, there's still a kid involved.
Yeah, but
he literally has to
one
save his
kid.
daughter.
Only one kid. That's not the entire plot point. The reason he goes to the island is because his girlfriend is there.
Yeah,
that girl does drop kick a raptor to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rewatched that the other day. Lost World. I literally gymnastics. Saver, get the fuck out of here.
I watched the first two.
She parkoured a raptor to death.
Yeah.
That's what she did.
That was pretty cool.
I watched the first two after I watched Jurassic World in theaters because I was like, I have to relive this. And then somebody was like, well, why don't we watch Jurassic Park 3? And I was like, because you don't ever need to.
I rewatched Jurassic Park 3 twice because I'm going to do the podcast on it with someone, and they wanted to rewatch it again. So I rewatched it with them, and I'm like, oh god, Alan Grant, Sam Neill's back in this movie, and I still not like it.
Yeah, but you don't watch Jurassic Park 3 for the same reason you don't watch Godfather 3, or you don't watch...
You know who likes My mother likes Jurassic Park 3. My mother is middle America.
Yeah. I think the thing
I just said that on the podcast. This is documented. She's going to hate me one day. I'm okay with it. I love her to death, but it's okay. I understand.
So, but I mean, they didn't need the kids. They didn't need the kids at all. I didn't care about those kids.
I don't need.
They didn't need the kids to be the driving force behind the plot of the story.
I don't think they needed them at all.
Yeah, the Indominus Rex breaking out was enough.
Yeah,
because it was literally a monster bred to kill everything.
Yeah.
Even if they have the kids, they don't need to be her goddamn cousins. Like, knowing that kids are out in the park.
Any kids.
We never have to personify them, really. No. We just have to show them terrified. Because they have to save kids from this dinosaur. So this would still happen.
Yeah.
They could have saved anybody. I don't understand why.
It was completely. It was a jump that didn't need to be made, and it was just like, why does it have to be two kids being sent to this island as a vacation while their parents are going through their divorce
And
attorneys?
while
Why
a
do the parents have to
relative
get divorced?
runs
Yeah.
and while a relative runs it, because the kids were goddamn
Yeah, they're getting it
Hammond's
for free.
children the first time,
Yeah.
and this time they're the operations director's nephew and
Yeah.
nephews.
I didn't care about the parents getting divorced at
Nope.
all. I didn't care about that.
I do have to give that kid credit though.
for the crying.
Oh, for the crying
Yeah.
scene, like that was real.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
Yeah.
that kid's parents are divorced in real life.
I mean,
Yeah,
too.
that kid went to a dark place.
Yeah,
that kid had some.
that kid went there.
He had some range. I'll give him that. Like he's gonna get so much work off of that scene.
Yeah.
Oh, he
as
should.
much as
He totally
like
should.
as far as like the plot goes, I did kind of love some of the scenes with the kids because it was like
With them interacting, if it was
Yeah.
just them interacting, and we didn't have Chris Pratt or Bryce Dallas Howard, and the movie focused on them, anything that isn't just the kids have to be saved. What if it was the kids trying to save themselves?
they
I
did
would
though.
watch that.
They totally did that.
Yeah, they did.
They fixed up the Jeep. And
Yeah.
then they ran from the Indominus Rex, and they're like, "We gotta jump, okay, go!" And they almost get snatched out of the air. Like that was awesome.
If it was just the adventure with the kids doing it,
yeah.
I think that would have been a better movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, we'll get to that in the end.
There's so many different lines that it could have just been focused on one thing, but they tried to put so much
They
stuff in it.
tried to-
It felt like Spider-Man 3 overstuffed.
Yes. Genetic engineered dinosaur.
or it felt like a
adult
double-
who doesn't know how to be a woman.
Yeah. Sad
a woman.
marriage.
That's woman in quotes, by the way. I'm not
Sad
like,
marriage. A guy that loves animals. A guy that hates animals and doesn't respect them.
a guy that totally understands nature and that they'd want to fuck.
Yeah, can we take a second to think about the fact that the Navy, the Navy special ops person was the one that was like, how do you not know about your nephews at all?
Yeah.
Like he spent his entire life. He obviously doesn't have kids. We don't know if he has a family at all. And he's like, how do you not know your nephew's
Yeah.
ages? Like,
Yeah.
you're kind of a
Single-
terrible person. Like
Yeah. The single dude that doesn't really that probably doesn't have anything.
the guy that trains raptors is like, why don't you know about
Yeah.
kids? Like.
And here's the thing, like, here's another flaw in the movie, was, okay, so they created this Indominus Rex, and they bred him with a T-Rex, and they bred him with a raptor, and God knows what
Raptors
else.
and- yeah.
And then they used...
Chameleon DNA.
Chameleon DNA, clownfish or whatever.
Yep.
Frog, the tree frog.
No, they
used-
didn't use the frog in this one. They
Yeah,
made
they
a
did.
specific
Yeah, they did.
point to say they didn't use the frog in this one. It's chameleon DNA that allows it to
Yeah.
And they used the jellyfish DNA.
Yeah.
He specifically says we stopped using frogs.
Oh, okay.
So they can actually change, like they can actually control the sexes.
Yeah.
They finally figured it
They
out.
were like, we don't want them to fuck. We
Right.
better make extra
Yeah.
special care of it.
And so they do all that, all right, and it gets all these extra traits where it can camouflage itself, it can make itself invisible to thermal recognition, it can, like, all this other stuff that it can do. All right, so why, when you're breeding the raptors and you know you can do this, why wouldn't you put, like a, what's a good dog? What's a dog that is, like, really good with kids and stuff?
Oh God, Irish Wolfhound is a giant dog that's great with children.
Yeah, or, like, a dog that's really trainable.
Yeah.
Why would you let the raptor, basically like the old school pit bull is what it is,
Well, actually,
continue to be a pit bull? Why wouldn't you put it?
You know what the thing
if
is?
you want to train it, put
all
some
dogs
like
are,
Lassie
all
DNA.
dogs are wolves. And that's where my friend had this whole thing about the raptors. Raptors, you can't train raptors. Raptors are really highly intelligent pack hunting animals in this universe, and so are wolves. And
Yeah.
we fuck it, like, if a mankind can teach wolves, we can teach raptors.
Yeah.
No, like, raptors are smarter than wolves
Actually,
even. They learn how to open doors.
They nodded to
Yeah.
it. They nodded to it whenever the guy was talking about, oh yeah, I found a wolf pup and I raised him and he attacked my wife.
Yeah.
Like that was it. That's how that was the exact
Did you
point.
put the wolf down? No.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Right, but if you want to make them a little bit more trainable,
Yeah.
like they could still attack, but they're trainable to at least respect their owner. Why wouldn't you put some dog DNA in there?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would have.
Or
I would've
just
done that.
just manipulate some of the genomes like
Well,
how
it
dogs
wasn't-
have it.
Yeah,
It
manipulate
wasn't
some of
the
the aggressiveness.
It wasn't the fact that they were overly aggressive and that even if they would have, they still would have been. It would still would have been the same thing because they're pack animals.
Yeah.
In this world,
That's what lets dogs be.
Even if they would have had a lot of dog DNA in them,
Which
it's
are pack animals.
they still would have bowed down to that true alpha because it was the same type of breed. Regardless of if it had a dog or if it didn't have dogs, they're still pack animals.
But some dogs are easier to train than others, and they're better with
But it
humans.
still goes
So
back
if
to
you
that
put that in
instinct.
there,
But yeah,
it
but
would-
that's selective breeding over
it would,
generations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would kind of breed.
They should have selectively bred the raptors a little bit more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I think this
Well,
is
it was
also-
kind of a
this was-
test. It was a
yeah,
test.
it was a test subject. But like,
Yeah.
the thing I think that really one of the things I don't like about this movie just goes to show that advertising shows too fucking much too. Like that moment where you see the Indominus Rex speak to the raptors and like know that it's part raptor because that's supposed to be a reveal. It's part raptor.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time you see it, and then like any of the previews of the toys are like that thing looks like a raptor. It's got too big of arms to be T-Rex.
Right.
Yeah.
And like there it is, it's gone. And the thing makes raptor sounds. Makes raptor sounds the whole way through, and yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, but it was still the same thing. It's like, oh, it was basically another clever girl.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, this kind of goes back to any monster movie. Like, what they did so perfectly with Godzilla is the fact that if they would have not shown it at all,
yeah.
that payoff would have actually meant something. Because
Uh-huh.
then, you know, Chris Pratt would have been like, oh, I know why they didn't tell us what's in it. It's got raptor blood. Like,
That is a terrible Chris Pratt.
yeah, but his like
it was
red,
spot on.
he had like a really he had a really thick like kind of like
He did
southern
kind of an
accent.
to it.
Yeah.
But it was a great moment where he's like, oh, it's part raptor. Shit, we're fucked.
Yeah.
It can talk to these guys.
Yeah.
And that, I think that,
Yeah,
I like
well,
that. 'Cause
that-
that's a connection to Jurassic Park 3 that I actually
You
like.
can't
where
say
they're
that
like,
was
oh,
bad
yeah,
because
raptors
right
talk
after
to
that,
each
he
other.
literally is like, "Oh, Raptor's got a new alpha. Kill them all."
Yeah.
Like literally, that was his line. Raptor's got a new alpha.
Watch your
And then
six.
Watch your six. Like that was.
They've
he
got
had
an
a
alpha, light
really,
him up.
really
Well,
thick
he was an army
accent
dude.
for
He was
the
an
yeah.
army dude.
He was a Navy dude. He
I
was
think-
an Army dude.
Yeah, he was in the Navy.
Okay, well, he probably picked that up in Afghanistan.
A thick Southern accent.
As you
Well,
do.
yeah, just serving alongside other people from this. Like, I
Yeah.
served 8 years in the Army, and one of the units I mobilized with was a National Guard unit from Tennessee. And after like 3 weeks with them, you start saying things, and you're like, I'm
Y'all.
not dumb enough to speak like this.
Oh yeah, I do that when
Not
I go hang out with
uneducated,
family down south.
Oh yeah, you have family down south. I have family from Wisconsin. That's the worst accent.
A boat.
No,
quite.
I'm not Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Northern Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm southern Wisconsin, so there's like I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to start speaking with it. But back to the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff not to like about how they handle Bryce Dallas Howard, how they just all the characters are so.
I didn't care about any character.
You could write the description of every character in like 3 lines. Like every character's description is a haiku.
Yeah. Well, and then the two nerds in the control room.
Yeah.
And then they didn't get together.
That's
like,
the best moment in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, she's like,
script
I have a
wise.
boyfriend.
Wait, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, where she stops him like, no, you assume too much.
Yeah.
Well, what? You never really said anything. Yeah, we're at work. I separate business and
That was
You're
awesome.
the best character in this movie. You have had like 7 lines. Best character in the fucking
every
movie.
line nailed it.
Yeah, she was phenomenal.
Okay,
She was the
Movie
only. Yeah. And she's in Orange is the New Black.
Yes. Yeah.
She's the only character that I actually did like.
the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
thing that I do love about, especially those two, is that classic throwback they have for foreshadowing. Like you see it in the original Jurassic Park. Is like he's talking about his dinosaurs. He's like, I like to think of this as my live-in workspace. And then he hits the cup, and she already moves the trash can. So it's like brilliant foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like the original, like he's tying the seatbelt because of its 2 female ends.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of a classic throwback that I love.
No one ever notices that in that movie, though.
I know, I don't get it.
He makes 2 female ends work. And
Yeah.
it's a connection to the
Life
dinosaurs.
finding a way.
Yep. And it's brilliant.
Because
so
some
brilliant.
idiot engineer that was building a helicopter doesn't match up all the seatbelts somehow.
In a billionaire's personal helicopter, too,
Yeah.
which is the best part about that.
So, speaking of billionaire personal helicopters, in the new one with the Indian dude, why the fuck was he flying the helicopter?
Because he learned how to fly it.
But he
wanted
was
to fly it.
in the danger time. In the danger time.
He was the only one there.
I will say this: aside from
He
the girl,
flew
he is my
himself in.
favorite. He's the one death I didn't want to die.
Yeah.
Because I liked him. He was real kind of respectful
That
about everything.
scene-
He's like, no, it's a dinosaur. It's a living thing. And like he was real.
He was like
He does have one
respectful
of the
after
best.
the fact. Though.
That
No, he was
helicopter
respectful going
scene-
into it too.
That helicopter
Okay, he
scene
was-
totally makes sense though, because everybody else on that island was shipped in on boats. He was the only person that flew in, and something happened. Like
No, they had all
his
the-
pilot completely disappeared. He probably ran off when things got hectic. You never saw him after he got out of the plane and vomited. Like, that totally made sense. He
I think
literally
they actually
said
acknowledged that he fucking got on one of the boats.
Yeah, they literally
Okay.
said there was nobody else that could fly, so he strapped in and went to town.
Although he does have one of my
think-
favorite lines in the whole movie, where it's like, "This will give the parents nightmares."
Oh, yeah,
and I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, "Yeah."
Yeah. But he was like, okay, he was respectful of the fact that they were awesome because dinosaurs are just awesome.
Yes.
Because they are.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until he found out all the crazy mad scientist stuff that they were doing. He's like, wait, why would you do this? And then Dr. I don't even know his name. Dr. Chu. We'll call him Dr. Chu. What the hell was his name? The Asian dude.
No shit.
Could you try again? We didn't quite get that.
I don't know what's more racist, Dr. Chu or the Asian dude.
I don't
Damn,
know.
Peter.
Look, like, I'm vaguely Asian looking, so it counts.
Vaguely Asian.
That's how I
How
got
is
described
Latino
once.
vaguely Asian looking?
Because somebody could describe me as vaguely Asian.
Maybe
I
when
guess
it's
your
sunny
little chin
outside
beard is
and
kind of
Yeah.
vaguely Asian looking.
Usually I grow it longer and like.
Oh god, damn it! I don't know what's. Oh god, I feel racist for laughing at the joke.
we're all
Good. It was an awful thing to say.
I
have
know.
no redeemable quality to what I just said.
I just imagined you with that beard. Anyway,
And the
no,
mustache
okay.
too? And the mustache
yeah, but
too?
no, yeah. He goes, no, we make these to design. You want me to make a terrifying creature. Those predatorial instincts come with it. You asked for this. I just
Yeah.
made it. And I kind of like that moment where it's like, be careful what the fuck you wish for, asshole.
I didn't like when they made him a villain though.
Yeah, where he's
See,
selling
other
the
people,
secrets.
other people could fly helicopters though because they flew that doctor out on a helicopter. They just had to happen to be in the area at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't want to wait, which I get it. It was kind of an emergency. All right, that's fine.
Also,
Well, they
that's
didn't
how
actually.
they kill him.
That was before InGen came in, though. Those were the park.
Yeah.
Those were the park people
So yeah,
that went out. So they were still the only people on the island that could fly a helicopter.
but
You
anyway.
know what's fine in the movie that I didn't get was when they D'Onofrio was like in charge now, and they're gonna
Yes.
get the Raptors loose. And Bryce Dallas Howard shows up, and she's like, "Oh, you asshole! You wanted this to happen." I'm like, "How did he want? He didn't plan for your genetically modified dinosaur to go ape
He
shit."
wanted the park to shut down, and he gained control. Though, like that, she was right in that. Like that's what he was hoping for, so that he could do the Like he wanted anything to happen so that he could use the Raptor program.
Yeah, but just because
That's
he
like-
had that in his heart, it's not like he made
Yeah,
it happen.
there's no sign where he's like manipulating this. Yeah, that is a stupid plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a stupid line for her. You wanted this. I was like, well, yeah, I kind of wanted to show off my dinosaurs, but not at the expense of other people's lives, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
There's nothing in this that
it's like,
makes
you
him seem like he
childless,
would
you
sacrifice
childless
kids.
bitch. Why?
Yeah, except for like there were like a few inklings here and there that were
Well,
like
yeah,
this
that
guy
he's-
does kind of seem like an asshole.
Well, yeah,
he let
he's a
his
horrible
wife
douche.
get mauled by a dog and was just like, no.
Well,
it's
she drew
cool.
a knife on him.
Yeah. That wolf was defending him.
Yeah.
At least okay, that
Yeah.
one, the
Is
wolf
it-
is not in the wrong.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay, we've gotten off book so bad, it's great.
No, we're still talking about.
No, I love
this.
it. Yeah, there's so much wrong with this. Like,
Like if I was gonna make this movie,
well, that's the next question.
Yeah.
Here we
Okay.
go. What
if
would
I
you-
was gonna make
what
this
would you
movie,
have
I would
differently?
have kept the corporate structure of InGen with the dinosaurs, and then the secret military project of InGen with the dinosaurs, and I would have just focused on those two things. But I think I would have made it more. I would have made it like the corporate structure is still like the science people, and they really respect the animals, and they're trying to do this cool stuff with it,
Yeah.
manipulating it. But they really don't want it to get out of control.
Yes.
But it does because you can never really control nature.
Yes.
And on the and concurrently with the army trying to weaponize raptors.
Maybe. Actually, I think it's a private corporation that's doing this.
Well, yeah, but they're contracted out.
Yes.
So it's clearly like, okay, fine. It was just a private corporation trying to weaponize them, but D'Onofrio's character was from the military, or from the army or the navy or whatever. It was from the armed forces.
Yeah.
Pratt's,
Department.
Pratt's character was from the navy.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're using ex-military and armed forces personnel
contractors.
to work on this. And eventually, I could see that the government would want to weaponize animals for that. I mean, didn't that story come out that Russia trained dolphins with guns on their heads and like lasers?
They
and
tried
stuff?
to train. Yeah,
They're trying to do that. So it's not far fetched at all.
Which
And-
Russia being the country that tried to do it when there's not really a the
Yeah.
ocean connection to them is far north of what most dolphin species would go to. Whatever.
Yeah, but still, like that is the storyline that I would have liked to have seen, and mainly, or even like you got the secondary characters. So the park goes crazy. the Army's got the secret program that tries to go in, but that just makes everything even crazier. But that's where I think I would have taken the movie, and like a government conspiracy to try to weaponize these dinosaurs or whatever. I would have liked to have seen that. I think that would have had more meat.
Yeah.
But it's a summer movie, and like I said, the studio's being safe. They're going to make a gajillion dollars. They spend so much.
Well, you know what I think they missed out on this? Is that line that you don't like where she just comes in and yells at him. That would have had some meaning if, like in the first film, there's a villain. And it's not the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are just doing dinosaur things. There's literally a villain in the first Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Newman.
Yeah, Newman. He screws the whole park, right? He does this villainous act to try and make millions.
Yeah, the reason the dinosaurs get out of containment in the first one is because he shuts it down. Yeah.
And there's nothing like that. Like, the dinosaur gets out on his own. The villain is supposed to be a dinosaur, but it's like, you made him like this. Of course, it's just a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, you can't get mad at the tiger for going tiger.
Yeah.
And,
Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy, right.
But yeah, if our military guru guy, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, literally had something to do with Indominus Rex escaping, then he's a villain. Then there's a reason for him to be waiting there, waiting to let the raptors go. Like, his timing there is just coincidental.
Yeah.
With the Indominus Rex getting loose.
Why do they go after Indominus at night?
Why did they go after Indominus at night? They went after him the whole fucking time.
Yeah, but once night hit, it would be like, all right, well, he's probably not.
He can already camouflage himself. We've already figured that out, and now we're going to go after him at night.
We can't see him in broad daylight in the jungle. Like, he can't. And the thing is, he's not going to get past the gates at that point. How did he get into the regular part of the park?
How did
Indominus get into the attraction area?
Because they had a sensor for it, remember, that would track him and that would like shock him if he got to the other part of the park.
He tore the sensor out.
And he ripped it out.
No, that sensor was just to tell him where he was at.
No.
It shocked him too.
It was control fencing
why
too.
Did
it was a death blow. It wasn't a shock.
Yeah.
It was literally a genetic code death blow. Like, it would have killed him.
They totally should have used that as well as like the original kind of design of, I don't know, maybe giant electric fences everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, if the park doesn't shut down, which it didn't.
I like the fences for the predatorial character, like the safety one. He's in a giant predatorial electrical fence that he breaks out of.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they have that other line that's like a death blow. He passes that, he'll die, which is smart. And then it's cool that she remembers where it is and rips it out. But which is really smart for a dinosaur, which is one of the creepier moments. But yeah, there's just parts of it where I'm like, this is dumb. Like, there's no reason for him to be a villain other than, I just want to try these raptors out. He's not a villain, he's a capitalist.
Yeah. And a warmonger.
Yeah, that's it. He wants to make money again.
Yeah.
Damn it, Obama, you shut his business down.
Yeah. Damn peace.
So, but no, like, yeah, there is no, the movement drive, there's no villain in it. I can't root against Indominus Rex, because it's just an animal. Like, it's cool to see it fuck shit up. I don't want it killing all these, like that moment with the most touching moment is the moment with the Brachiosaur. Mm-hmm. When he goes to check on the dying Brachiosaur and she comes, like, oh, that literally, I teared up watching a fucking fake dinosaur die.
Because I almost kind of felt like a dog was dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
Because it was really...
It was just like the Triceratops in Jurassic Park.
It's a peaceful animal.
Yeah.
I
mean, it just eats plants and just chills.
Just chilling, doing his thing, and suddenly this big camouflage beast comes and rips its fucking side out. Like, and for no reason, not to eat it.
Killing for sport.
Yep.
Yeah, it's killing for sport, but it's...
Selfish, only child. That's what that was. That's all it was.
No, he had a sibling. Just decided, I don't want you.
Yeah.
And there's the second story. There's two of them now. They're pack hunters.
Oh god, there's an alpha and a beta.
Yeah.
One was male, one was female.
They are raptors.
Yo, you know the other thing that would have been cool is with Indominus, if they used so many different dinosaur DNAs to create it, then it could literally mate with any other dinosaur.
Oh, that's creepy.
Oh, if it was like the only male in an all-female park.
Yeah,
it's just like
Indominus is the only male.
Just running a conga line.
It's hooking up with Tyrannosaurs. It's hooking up with Velociraptors.
It's just killing and raping every dinosaur.
It can knock up a Triceratops or something. Yeah. Like, it makes even more hybrids out of a hybrid.
Oh,
that would have been...
That's messed up.
Yeah, and then you get into like this whole...
Those offspring would be super strong. Yeah, and then there's all just mutts.
And there's a scientist that like says that this is unnatural. Then there's like some liberal scientist that's like, are you like it's like a metaphor for racism and interracial marriage.
This is what we really want the sequel to be when it comes out.
Oh, there is going to be a sequel to this.
Yeah, they made way too much money for there not to be.
Oh no, they had already signed on it before they
Oh, my
made
God.
Chris Pratt signed on for multiple. And kudos to him, he deserves the work. But yeah.
So maybe the next one will have some balls and it'll be a weaponizing dinosaur movie.
Yeah, I think they really got away
as
from
long
what
as it's something that's new.
Yeah.
That's a new concept and it's not rehashed.
This is just a rehash. And I think really, if you just played the argument of scientists who create life, who like, this should be respected. They are creatures out of time. Like, we should know what we're dealing with. And then there should be, like, the scientist should have been the conscientious voice. And then there should have been the warmonger, like, we should do this. And he should have been the one to break Indominus Rex out to have a reason to use the Raptors.
Yes.
And I think you would have had a better story. You don't need the kids. And if you're going to do the kids storyline, chill the rest of it and just focus on the kids' survival on their own.
Yeah. And I would have liked to have seen more training.
Yeah, more training the Raptors.
More raptor training. I think
Yeah,
that
because
was
that
cool.
scene was amazing when
That
he
scene
saves
is
the
really
kid,
cool.
and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Wait, if
Why do you think they're?
He's like,
why do
if
think
you
there was a
shoot
job opening?
if you shoot these guys, they'll never trust me again." And he just dives in, and they try to snatch him anyways.
Yeah.
He literally saved a human being so he could save the Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like
would've
he
loved more
truly
of that.
cared. He was an actual.
Yeah.
He was the true alpha. He truly cared for these.
You eventually could have still got back to the end fight scene, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And
I-
like that's Bryce Dallas Howard's character's like big moment is running, leading a Tyrannosaur.
Yeah.
That's
no,
cool.
when she just butts the what is it, the pterodon
Durano.
yeah,
but one of the flying.
run it right in the face and then shoots it.
Yeah,
that
was
was
kinda
awesome.
cool.
That
She
was pretty-
saved Chris Pratt.
But she became a badass out of the blue.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, oh, let me just roll up my sleeves and tie this under my breast line, and now I'm a badass. Like,
Yep.
like that movie, her
But it's
role was
like-
so sexist, I'm surprised Zack Snyder didn't direct it. Like, only directed her.
Yeah.
I didn't say it, folks. I'm not the one who shit on Zack Snyder.
And I like him,
There it is. There
I
it is.
like
There's
him
the
in
poop
some-
everybody was wanting.
yeah, I like him in certain aspects, but he does not do well with it.
I've given him credit for being visually
Yeah.
really understanding composition. I just don't like him.
So, yeah, like I feel like he directed Bryce Dallas Howard and someone else directed the rest of the cast. And he was...
No, I feel like he wrote Bryce Dallas Howard
Yeah.
because when she was directed, like there
Yeah,
were a lot of
there's
awesome.
nothing wrong with
yeah.
direction. I mean, once you have that script and you have that much millions of dollars, and how much of that movie was filmed, how much of that movie was done before they filmed the live action parts? 'Cause they spent billions on that, like millions and millions,
Yeah.
making those dinosaurs.
Yeah, so that's why the
And
story
they went
was
to
so safe.
pre-production so early.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like, years and years ago, they were like, "Oh wait, we're gonna make like dinosaur human mutations,"
Yeah.
and then
that was 3. That was what 3 was supposed to be.
yeah,
That's ridiculous. I'm so glad they didn't do that.
yeah,
Dinosaur human hybrids instead of Spinosaur.
yeah.
And instead they just jumped the shark and showed Spinosaur in the first, 4 minutes. That was terrible. Anyway,
Yeah, wasn't that already like a super crazy...
yeah, but that's one that really exists.
Yeah, so why didn't they just make that one?
I don't.
Why do they have to
Spinosaur-
make Indominus Rex?
Because, well, they've said it. They just have to keep upping the wow factor.
Yeah, but
This
that,
is like-
but the one, the
it kinda
one from
goes
the
back
third
to,
movie
like, what
wasn't
you
at
were-
the park. Just put him in the park.
It kind of goes back
True.
to like what you were
Well,
saying
maybe
at the
they already
beginning,
had-
where it was like, like, oh, this it would be okay if kids were on their phone because if it were a zoo. But it was like, these people have already seen this. It is a zoo. It's been like this for years.
Yeah.
So it's obviously going to be like, well, when people go to a zoo,
To
what
us,
are
we're
they
like
going?
fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
To me, I'm still at a zoo, like fucking.
Like to the,
chimps.
like if
I
you
do.
think
Oh my
about
God,
it,
who watches
if you
those
think
all
about
day?
it in the
I watch a polar bear just sit there,
in the
just being a polar
film's
bear. Like,
timeline, in the film's
kind of fat.
timeline, in 1993 when Jurassic Park came out, they had already figured out cloning and everything.
No dinosaurs existed then.
Yeah, so it's like when you flash forward 20 years later with all of the technology they've had, this park has been open for a while. It's just another zoo.
Yeah, in their universe, they're much more technologically advanced than even
It's
us.
just another zoo.
Genetically.
Oh, genetically.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? They're going to, like any other zoo, they're going to bring in more carnivores.
They're going to be the people I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us more lions and tigers and bears.
One of these days, there's just going to be whole zoo sections dedicated to ligers. Because they're like, people are bored with lions and tigers,
Well,
let's
yeah.
fuck them.
You know what? You know what the
They're
worst part of the film
they're
was?
bred
though?
for their magic skills.
Yeah.
The absolute worst part of the film that just made me want to stab myself in my eye with a Twizzler was when Jimmy Fallon pops up in the gyrosphere.
Oh, I fucking love that.
I hate Jimmy Fallon.
Oh god, it was so
Jimmy Fallon.
terrible. It was hilarious. Because like, how
I
terrible
wanted
could
to.
this
You know
do?
what? I
It's-
wish Jimmy Fallon would have been at the park and they showed him get eaten by the
Jimmy
goddamn-
Fallon is the guy who would do those videos. Is the
Yeah.
sad part. Like,
That's
he'd
why
be,
it was
he'd be the
like- yeah.
comedian hack. It's him or a really well-paid Chevy Chase.
Yeah. I love
Chevy Chase just going, and this is how this works. Just looking dead-eyed into the camera.
I love that because it's believable, and
Yeah.
the kids were just like,
Yeah.
like everybody else. That was what was perfect about it, because it's like, God damn it, it's Jimmy Fallon.
He is so middle America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is.
he really is.
like that's what made that.
But
That's
I
what
think-
made it
okay.
funny because the characters were like.
I think Jimmy Fallon
To head
focus
this
grouped
home,
his
to,
persona.
to wrap this up, because I'm gonna play director in chief here, and just wrap this up. What we really come across is what you would do differently with Jurassic World is focus on one story
Yes.
and actually delve into that, and maybe cast a villain that actually does a villainous thing to make him a villain, not just be a kind of a jackass.
Just one story, and the government weaponizing dinosaurs, I think, is such a great story, and it could be a metaphor for what they're actually doing with drones and everything. I mean, you could
How they use dogs in the battlefield.
exactly.
Yeah.
It could be so deep, and you can actually get into it and have a great story, and still have the amazing effects of dinosaurs. I mean, really, do it. We're in World War III. Set it even further in the future, and they actually did weaponize them or something, and they're in battle and they're using them, but then they
People
go
riding
rogue or
raptors into battle.
something. Yeah.
That is a terrifying thought.
That's going to be the next movie.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's like, nah, I don't need this motorcycle. Come on, Blue.
Yeah. Or not even people on them, but people like somehow like controlling them with signals, like electric shock, the helmet that they put on them. So they turned actual animals into drones.
Oh.
Effectively.
Yeah.
But imagine how.
because
imagine that movie.
When they lash out finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, when even if it was like
Nature finds
hardwired
a way.
into their brain.
And that raptor says Stark on the side or something like.
Oh god.
We've crossed too many universes.
Why not? Why
We
not
can go back.
Oh, okay. Well, if that means that Joss Whedon can direct it, then I'm down.
Yeah.
The set piece exposure would be amazing.
Yeah.
There would be so much going on in one scene. Like, we think that pterodon scene where they're just flying and killing people or something. There'd be raptors. There'd be someone on a rooftop
And then
shooting
fucking
arrows.
Iron Man comes.
Yeah.
Iron Man comes in.
You made Iron Dinosaur.
It would basically be Avengers, but with dinosaurs instead of aliens.
They would be iron dinosaurs. They already got the technology on there.
Yeah, they got like an Iron Man suit on the raptor.
We gotta go. God, this has been so much fun.
So yeah, like
Peter, thank you so much.
No love stories. Either.
No,
I don't. Every movie has to have a love story.
Yeah, that's
I
the
hate
same
it.
mistake they made with Green Lantern. With that being said, God damn it, Peter, you have been fantastic as a guest.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun ripping this movie to shreds.
Do you have anything you want to plug real quick?
I don't. My summer is very, very light.
Do you have a Twitter handle?
I do. Follow me at PeterDaniel1982. It's so boring. It's just my name with the year that I was born in, but I mean, it gets the point across. I don't want to do anything like comedian, like whatever. Like you have to put comedian in your name. So,
I don't.
It's so stupid. You don't tell people that. Like then.
Is there a YouTube page or anything else you want to plug, or just the Twitter handle?
Just the Twitter handle. Follow me there, or on Facebook. You can look me up. Facebook.com/SaltyPeters. And you can follow me there. Most of the stuff I put in is on Facebook, and sometimes I use Twitter. I'm lazy about it. Not lazy, I'm just bad at not using it. Like, it should. Like,
I'm just going to harass you. You're going to find a bunch of links for us, and hopefully people from here finding you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Thomas Sinclair. You can always find me on Twitter at the T Sinclair. You can find me on Facebook and the Thomas Sinclair. You can find I Want to Like This as I Want to Like This at I Want to Like This on Twitter and I Want to Like This on Facebook. Go see a movie sometime.
Yeah, not Jurassic World. Don't see that. Wait.
You already did.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Everybody did.
Yeah.